stop being lazy. Yeah. And I became creative. Yeah. And I learned how to create it. And now that pride's for me. So come see. Oh, come here.
Welcome back to the Silver Line on Atlanta Falcons podcast. We're coming at you with a Quicksilver reaction. I am your host, Sterlington. This is your host, Cameron. And we're coming at you right after the Falcons' morning loss in Germany to the Colts in overtime, 31 to 25. As you can see, I'm still in my night attire. Still got my jammies on. Got a bonnet on. And it's nappy under this bonnet. If this is your first time here, we ain't got no luscious locks under here. Nope, nappy hair under here. But this is one of them games where I just knew not to get too excited, no matter how it went down. Falcons gave up over 220 rushing yards. How many rushing yards did we give up today? Because if you count Daniel Jones, I feel like we definitely well into the
We gave up 323 rushing yards today.
Okay. I wanted to say 300. I wanted to say 300 rushing yards, but I was like, maybe not. We'll see. So yeah, we gave up 300 rushing yards. Offense was mediocre, although Zach Robinson did look better. Falcons are 3-6. Playoffs on life support. We definitely, ironically, we are at the part of the season where we're saying playoffs. Don't talk about playoffs. Playoffs? I just want to win a game. That's where I'm at. And it's funny because if you'll all remember, that was Jim Morris Sr., who at the time was the coach of the, drum roll, say it for me, Cam.
Don't tell me he was a coach of the Falcons.
No, not the Falcons. Who the Falcons played today?
Oh, the Colts, yeah.
That's right. Jim Morris Sr., he was the coach of the Colts. I want to say, I can't remember what year that was. I think that might have been one of the Peyton years. He was one of Peyton. I think it was Peyton Manning's first coach. What's the numbers, Cam? What I know you already got the box score of. What did we see from Penix today? Because Penix kind of had he kind of had a rough game to me. It was a rookie game.
Oh yeah. We could talk about Penix. So today he went 12 for 28, 177 yards, 1 TD, 1 fumble. He was sacked 3 times, 27 yards in a sack. But in general, like I said before, what I'm mainly looking for this season is our young players and their development. And how does Michael Penix develop? I mean, he's included in the young players. This is his second year.
Yep.
This is game 12 for him. And this looked like another rookie game for him. Like he didn't look the sharpest. There were some times where he just outright missed some throws. And I don't know if it's just because of the pressure, if it was like mechanical issues, like a little bit of mechanics.
Turn your mic up, Cam. I can hardly hear you.
Yeah, but some of his throws he just missed them, and he did. He missed some throws, but if this was like Daniel Jones, if Daniel Jones was playing for us missing these kind of throws, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, you've been in the league for a minute, but the fact that he's 12 games in, he's essentially a rookie still, so I'm not entirely upset. We want to see some growth, and we saw some growth today because at times he did scramble a bit more, try to extend plays. He wasn't very careless with the ball. He didn't put the ball in the harm's way. A lot of the throws that he did make, he made him he put the ball in a position where only his guy could get it. But yeah, he did miss some throws, some over the middle, some towards the sideline as well. He just missed them, and especially in OT. We could talk about play calling considering we went 6 and out in OT. We had a penalty to bail us out, and then we still went 3 and out again. So there's a lot to be said. In general, for this game, we left a lot of meat on the bones. But strictly talking about Penix,
a lot of meat on the bone. Yeah.
Strictly talking about Penix, yeah, it wasn't his best work, but it wasn't a terrible. It didn't make me feel like, man, he shouldn't be out there.
So I gotta say this. I think he needs the reps. But what I do want to say is and maybe we'll find out which episode we said it on. But Penix is going to continue to struggle with accuracy until he gets a private QB coach. My man Penix, his feet, bro, he just does not get his feet right for a lot of his throws, and it causes him to sail them. And like he didn't fit. We need a plan to help him correct that. He's already a rookie. He's already going to be dealing with learning the playbook. I'm still seeing. I mean, it cleared itself up, but we still having patches of games where we clearly having trouble getting the play in on time. All right, I'm still seeing a lot of plays, and it has negative impacts on these plays. I'm still seeing a lot of plays where we getting the ball in and we not getting the ball snapped until the play clock's almost out. Like we not breaking the huddle until there's like 10 seconds, 10, 11 seconds left. And I'm like, we gonna motion on this play. We motion every play. So if we're gonna motion on every play, like we need to be to the line of scrimmage sooner. Like the quarterback need time to be able to read the defense and get a read on the defense before he snapped the ball. And then also another issue with that is like a periphery issue. It's just something you don't think about, is that when the play gets in late and the clock is going down, the defense don't have to respect your cadence. They're like, hey, either this ball coming out on one or you getting a delay of game. So then they just do that, and they did it several times, and it caused some problems with Penix getting pressure on some of those plays. Penix, he absolutely needs to get his feet together to be accurate. I mean, what you said he was 12 or 28?
12 of 26, I want to say.
It doesn't matter if it was 26 or 28.
12 or 28. 12 or 28.
That Penix, in this game that went to overtime, that we as an offense put up 25 points, Penix only had 12 completed passes. Like, that is crazy. That's just not acceptable. And look, right, Mooney, he had a big drop. Pitts in the opening frame, he had a drop that would have gone for a lot of yards. Hit him right in the hands, right? So we can't ignore those things, right? Those two more passes that would have been completions. But then Pitts was streaking wide open down the sideline. Penix got to drop that one in. He got to get that. Like, that's one of them plays where, you say as the quarterback, and as the quarterback, you got to take the gimmies. You got to make all your layups. You're going to, make a lot of money in the league making them hard throws that is hard to fit in these windows. But the easy throws are what is going to keep you consistent and keep you in games.
Oh, Tom Brady made a living dinking and dunking down the field.
That's right.
That Patriots offense made a living doing 5-yard outs, little slant passes, dinking and dunking down the field, dinking and dunking to a dynasty. They made a living doing that.
Yeah, I mean, and my thing is, when I look at it, I'm like, look, we got to make our wide open throws. The bad part about that too, with a play like that is, I got on Reddit, I just see people killing Pitts for that drop. And then turn around and Pitts beat this dude like a drum, and then, Penix like throw it pretty far behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's one of those things that and not just to stroll down memory lane when, you would have a lot of Matt Ryan haters. The thing I would love about Matt Ryan, to me, with a lot of deep passes, he was not terribly accurate. Guys usually had to stop and adjust to his throws. But the biggest thing I always felt like Matt did was always make sure his guy had a chance on those. Right? The throw to Pitts down the sideline that ended up being short, Pitts didn't have a chance for. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Pitts couldn't have caught it in stride running, but like, just give him a chance to get his hands on the ball. Give these guys a chance to make a play. And he seems to have that rapport with Drake, which is why it seems to go best when he throws to Drake. It's like, all right, I can at least give him a chance at these balls, right? And look, to be fair to Penix, a lot of the passes he did complete, they did look good. You know what I'm saying? He had some plays where he threw guys away from coverage and put him in position to make plays, but um Penix is he's got a lot of growth um to still have, and I'm a little concerned because I think this team is we 3-6. I mean,
Yeah, man, we 3-6.
I don't think we're going 6-2 the rest of the way. So we'll see. We'll see.
That's kind of how I feel, man. That's kind of how I feel. At the end of the day, we left a lot of meat on the bone. There's stuff you can be disappointed about, but I kind of got what I wanted, man. The young guys played well. They didn't like as a whole, as an entire unit, like as a team. Like the defense had 7 sacks, but we also had Daniel Jones that back to a third and it was like a third and 22,
3rd and 21.
third and 21, and then he gets 19 yards. That's on them. That's on them.
That could have
And giving
ended
up
the
like a
game.
and
Oh
giving
my God.
yeah, we got to like yeah, you had a good game. Yeah, the young guys played well, but like you stuff like that is unacceptable, bro. There were so many times in this game where it was all we had to do was close it out.
Yep.
But this was a typical snatch defeat from the jaws of victory type of game.
Yep.
Because in the NFL, good teams figure out how to win. They don't let opportunities pass them by, and we are a team that let multiple opportunities just pass us by. Like whether it's from missed throws or bad coverages, letting people make plays when they shouldn't have. Like it was special teams as well. Granted, Pinion played pretty well, but when it mattered the most, he kind of shanked the kick. But then, hey, we still had a chance. But then we let Daniel Jones pull off a third and 21 and he can get 19 yards. So it's just little things like that, man. Like we didn't play fully complimentary football, man. And then the 3 wins we did, we played complimentary football, man. Everything was kind of working together. And this is a team that needs everything to work together. We don't have enough power. We don't have enough. We don't have enough sauce on this team. We don't have enough firepower for one unit to just carry us. We need it's a group effort. We need everybody, and we didn't get it today.
Okay, man. I'm glad you brought those things up. So I looked at I was looking to see if I could find the text. A few weeks ago when the Falcons played, I don't remember who we were playing, but I remember thinking to myself, yo, man, Pinion, like this shit is crazy. Pinion can have some real good games, but he is prone to shanking the kick at the worst fucking time. And it's overtime. We just went 6 and out. Excuse me. This is still a game. If your punter flips the field in that situation, that is still a game. You have shown multiple times throughout the game that you can stop the Colts for a possession or two, right? And because if we being real, this one of those like I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm not even that upset. It's just so much to talk about with this team, and it's not positive. And it's like, all right, how do I funnel all of this into a coherent statement? So I'm gonna start with Pinion, and I'm gonna work my way around. Pinion has a habit of shanking the ball at one of the worst possible times. This time, the game's in overtime. You just went 6 and out. If he gives you a good punt that flips the field, you've shown that you can stop Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense sometimes. Maybe you get one more stop and then you kick the ball. You can get the ball back and possibly still win that game. But of course, when it's overtime and the game's on the line, that's when he kicks a 39-yard punt. And the Colts basically starting in a position where 20 yards means they at least get the chance at a kick, right? So that's one. 2, special teams is ASS. I'm getting so tired of this. They were kind of inconsistent to start the year. They have a bad game, but then you had a game like Minnesota where special teams was lights out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But now they're not inconsistent. They consistently suck.
Yeah.
All right. They're consistently bad. It's time to go ahead and get your special teams coach up out of there. Honestly, the funny thing about Raheem, people think Raheem a bad coach, and to be honest, his game and clock management could use work. But I think the worst part about Raheem so far has been that he's been awful putting together coaching personnel.
That's his
Um,
biggest. That's my biggest gripe on him. He has. I don't know if it's a poor judge of character or he's just doing favors for his boys or he's just. I don't know. But at the end of the day, like some of these coaches just aren't doing it, man. Like, how do we have a guy who's a former quarterback as our OC and like Penix is having these mechanics issues? Like, we got so many former quarterbacks on our staff. How is nobody saying anything about this?
Nobody looking at it and say, "Hey, Penix, man, you keep picking your front foot up when you throw. You keep pointing your left foot, your back foot, and then toe in the wrong direction, bro. You ain't doing none of the things you need to do to help yourself just be consistent throwing the ball." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like you have the arm talent. Like you have the arm talent. It is there. It is clearly evident. But you just gotta clean up some of this stuff, man.
Look, and when you
Tell me what
talk
my
about
opinion.
and look, when you want to talk about jumping on coaches, right? So Dwayne Leffert is not one of his coaches. That's a holdover, right? Could you tell the day that you had two backup offensive linemen playing today? Could you? Because was that just readily apparent?
Hey, there's a reason why Dwayne Leffert has survived past regimes, bro.
That's what I always said. I'm like, look, he know what the hell he doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, if I'm Arthur Blank, I'm like, hey, you got to take this over. No, maybe not. Maybe you just say whoever, but I'm like, I don't want to ruin the one guy who has shown that he can consistently make sure that when you got guys hurt, he can put in the next guy and that guy be reasonable. I don't think I've seen any old lineman. I mean, the occasional time where we might play the Panthers and, Derek Brown and Brian Burns was whooping up on Lindstrom and McGarry. But outside of that, I don't think you can really consistently point to any time anybody in his unit was just getting their ass kicked back to back to
Oh
back.
yeah, like yeah, Penix was pressured a few plays, but aside from that, like it was
It was
all
usually
of
on a blitz though.
yeah, it was on a blitz.
You know what I'm saying? And you didn't really see a bunch of times where there was just four-man pressures and Elijah Wilkinson, who is your third string offensive tackle, out there getting his ass whooped. Or Kyle Hinton, who like a lot of people, myself included, was like, damn, that's what you about to go in with. This the dude. So if Bergeron or if Lindstrom go down, this dude you sticking in. And you know what? He played fine today. We ran the ball fine today. We protected the quarterback fine. I mean, he got sacked, but I mean, at least against, four-man pressures, we protected the quarterback fine, right? O-line seems to be the only group where, all right, the coaching is clearly up to snuff. You know what I'm saying? But you fired Ike Hilliard. You said the wide receiver play wasn't up to snuff. And quite frankly, the only wide receiver that has been worth a damn this year has been Drake London. So we're
He's
not
been the only pass
satisfied.
catcher. He's been he's been the only pass catcher aside from Bijan Robinson worth a damn.
So we're not satisfied with our play there. When we talk about quarterback, then whether it's been Kirk or whether it's been Mike, we've been lacking a little. We've been lacking a little. Now, when we want to flip the side on defense, like I want to get on them, right? Because before we got on, I talked about I got issues with how the defense played today, right? Gave up over 300 yards rushing. We had the 3rd and 21 where we gave up a huge run to Daniel Jones. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then and to be and on that play, we changed up what we did a little. We mugged the A gaps and we mugged a lot of the gaps on the play before, and then we got a sack. And then we played a lot more passively on the next one because, it's 3rd and long. We played passively. We were just like, hey, if they get a 10-yard play, that's still 4th and 10, good and all. But I'm like, damn, we didn't have a spy or anything. You gonna play that passive and just not keep a middle linebacker in the middle of the fucking field to be a spy on Daniel Jones, or get a safety and say, hey, we know Daniel Jones can run. Let's just go ahead, keep a guy on him on this play. We're gonna rush 4. We're gonna keep one more on to keep an eye on Jones, and then everything else, we're just gonna play for the sticks. That would have been fine, but we didn't do that, right? What else? We gave up that 83-yard touchdown. That was a rough play to watch. But then the more I think about it, I'll keep wanting to get on them, but I just keep remembering that Jeff Ulbrich, out of his mouth, basically, was that, we're not really as focused on the run. We focus on the pass because we think we're gonna be ahead, and we want to plan for that. And you know what? A lot of the times when they had to throw, when the Colts had to throw, well, save for the late in the fourth quarter in overtime, because that pass to Tyler Warren killed us.
So, and it was like that 4th and 2 to Tyler Warren. I couldn't even be mad. Like Billy Bowman was in position. It was just a perfect throw. It was just.
They had the matchup they wanted. They had their big tight end against like the smallest DB we got, and that's another thing to point out too. The defense kind of was playing patchwork a little. I noticed they started playing Harrison more, and you know what? Jeff Ulbrich saw that J.D. Bertrand wasn't quite getting it done. Like, he had J.D. Bertrand out there. Tyler Warren caught a pass, and J.D. was out there, and he just kind of stiff-armed J.D. until he got to the first down. Man took J.D. out. And man said, all right, enough of that. Let's go ahead, put Harrison in. I literally saw Josh Woods in the game. Didn't expect to see that. I saw him sometimes in the preseason. But, I ain't expecting Josh Woods to be out there playing, but shit, he had to make a business decision, and he made it. He put Josh Woods out there. But I'm like, you want to talk about piecemeal defense, you got a guy who is primarily a special teamer playing one of your inside linebacker roles. Mike Hughes didn't play. We knew he wasn't going to play because he had a neck injury. I'm like, hey, if you questionable with a neck injury, you ain't playing. I don't want to hear you question. Why the fuck the Falcons play with the injury report like that? I'm getting sick of that shit. Like, stop listing people as questions. Like, remember that stuff with Divine Diablo?
Mm-hmm.
You got a broken fucking arm, and he's questionable. Don't play like that. He's not questionable. He got a broken arm. Psst. Hey, Cam, you seeing this shit?
Oh yeah, I think I am. What is that?
That's a person watching this podcast that hasn't subscribed. Subscribe. The button's down below. That is a guy who is out. Mike Hughes with a neck injury? Yeah, no, you ain't questionable with no neck injury. You ain't playing. And then D. Alford went out. So they out here playing with 2 backups in the secondary. I mean, I guess technically one because Billy Bowman came out, but 2 backups in the secondary. One of our backup D linemen went down, but we wasn't even playing with all of our guys. Leonard Floyd obviously didn't play this game, and that showed itself a little too. Another reason why it's hard for me to jump on Jeff and the defense as much because James Pierce Jr. he made a lot of good plays, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. James Pierce Jr. is not nearly the run defender Jalen Walker is. Jalen Walker. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've given Jalen Walker enough praise, and he's not gonna get enough praise because we don't record a lot. We got a time frame we keep these shows in, and the Falcons been giving us so much negativity to talk about. We don't get to point out how Jalen Walker had 3 sacks in the last 2 weeks, or 3.5. I didn't even pull up the box score. I don't know what his official sack numbers are, but he's been playing out of his mind. He literally came back and the team got better on defense. He came back after having injury. I don't think he's leading the team in sacks, but he's like up there. Maybe behind Dorlus, who had a sack today. Good for Brandon Dorlus.
We had 7 sacks, nine tackles for loss, 7 sacks as a team. Oh my God, bro.
Yeah. We still gave up 28 points though. That's why I always point that kind of shit out. When I point out those negative plays. But I'm like, Jalen Walker has been playing good against the run. He is developing very nicely as a pass rusher. I did not know he would be this good as a pass rusher. So I watched games of Jalen Walker's. I watched the game against Texas live. But then when I watched, and I was like, boy, number 11 kicking ass, boy, all that, right? But then, when I rewatched it for film study, I'm like, I think I kind of talked myself into talking down some of them plays. I was like, the quarterback kind of scrambled to his side and ran into his arms, da. But Jalen Walker's been playing real good. And he's been good against the run too. James Pierce Jr. though, there was several plays where I could tell that the plan was, hey, when number 27's in, we're gonna run right at him. So, and I guess I just bring that up to emphasize the injuries because Obviously, the plan, you know, with James Pierce Jr., we seeing him mostly as a situational pass rusher. And then when I see James Pierce Jr. have to play against the run, I'm like, oh, okay. That's why he's a situational pass rusher. He ain't there against the run yet. So that's going to be a point of emphasis. But like, you know, to your point, about, you know, the rookies playing well, you know, they can't be perfect. All right, James Pierce Jr., 6'5", he weighed the same amount as Jalen Walker, who's 6'1". So of course he gonna have, you know, some struggles. Honestly, I thought Jalen Walker would too, but that not been the case. But if you just say, all right, you know, over the guys that we drafted in the last 2 years, right? I would say, well, Watts had a little bit of a rough game today. I'm not gonna lie, that happened. Um, well, this Billy Bowman Jr. first game back, not the best, but you know, Jalen Walker had a fine game. James Pierce Jr., aside from his run defense woes, he had a good game. Brandon Dorlus, great game. Decent game from Rook. From what I saw, you talking about the guys. You know, Penix. You know, he had a rookie quarterback game. Obviously, you grade your quarterback on a curve, but young guys, ultimately, you know, we saw hope and we saw some sunshine from the young guys, and that's really all you can point out. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at this team 3-6. This another game that you feel like they smoked. You know, at the end, when we're running the ball, I was like, I'm getting scared, bruh, because we scoring too fast. Like, I know there's no proper way to play that situation. You can't assume the touchdown, right? But I almost wanted them to take a knee when they got to the one and be like, hey, we're going to take a knee. Y'all can use this timeout. Sorry, I almost knocked my mic over. It's like, we're going to take a knee and make the Colts use this timeout. You know what I'm saying? And then that would have been second down, because I think Tyler Algier scored on second down from the one. And then I gave the Colts the ball back with plenty of time. And I will say this too, that's another thing. I get so tired of us wasting the Michael Penix Jr. late game heroics. I feel like what? There's at least a fourth game where we blew a Michael Penix Jr. late game heroic, right?
I mean, yes and no, because even though he still had a chance to right the ship, man.
I know.
Hey, Matt Ryan did it with 11 seconds. Matt Ryan did it with 11 seconds.
No,
man.
no, but you know what 11 seconds means? 11 seconds means the other team don't get the ball back. It seemed like
we had 22
score, and then the other team get the ball back, and then we lose.
Hey, man. Hey, I get what you're saying. We had our opportunities. I'm not gonna let him off the hook this time. We had our opportunities.
We did. He had opportunities.
He had like this. Arguably, may be one of his worst games. And people gonna get mad. Oh, he's 25. How much more can he develop? I'm just like, hey, when did Jordan Love start, bro?
Now Jordan Love younger than him. They gonna say that. But my thing is, I feel like Penix show you that from the neck up for the most part. You know, he still needs some work. Well, I am getting killed by the sun over here. I got the sun over here. I got the light on and the thing on in the background, but I'm getting washed out real bad. Hold on, there we go. Let's angle that a little better. But yeah, man. I think honestly, it's really just the thing with the feet. Like when I say this guy needs a private QB coach, if he gets that feet situation settled, you're gonna see Michael Penix Jr. ascend to a whole new level.
That's the thing.
Has to get that shit settled, man.
Because when you look at him, when I look at him as a guy. I sound like Chris Collinsworth. Now here's a guy. I sound like Chris Collinsworth, bro. But no, really though. Now here's a guy who's he's got all the arm talent. He's got the mental capacity. He can process the game well. He's slowly learning how to use his feet for mobility purposes. He's slowly learning how to extend plays. He just has to get his accuracy down packed, and it's it's a fixable issue. That's the thing. It'd be different if we was talking about somebody like
Joe Milton,
great guy
with a huge arm, but he's not accurate.
It'd be different if we talking about somebody like Desmond Ridder. Not great guy, Great guy just wasn't the guy.
Yeah, Desmond Ritter just didn't have the sauce, man. I'm sorry. I hate to be that way with Desmond, but I
But it was because I didn't think he had it up here, bro.
Bruh, with Desmond Ritter, let me tell you what the difference between Michael Penix. I think this is the main thing that gives you hope with Penix and why you don't look at him and say this is a guy who doesn't need to be out there, right? The biggest thing with Penix is that he doesn't turn the ball over. I know he had a turnover today. It was a fumble though. And and it was a fumble on specifically the kind of play you was worried about with McGarry or the backup there, which is a blindside play, and then somebody get him from behind and then get the ball loose, and that's exactly what happened. But he doesn't throw interceptions like that. With Ritter, man, like some of his interceptions were 1,000% inexcusable. Like
Ritter was a turnover machine, either through fumbles or through interceptions.
Oh
It
my
was just poor quarterback play, man.
You remember that game against Tampa where Winfield got him right before the goal line? And I'm like, why are you easing? Sorry, look. That's Falcons pass. We're not gonna harp on that for long or nothing. But I'm just thinking to myself about that play. Easing up anything near the goal line that involves dropping the ball or slowing down or anything aside from holding the ball tightly and scoring and ensuring the score is a stupid play to me. So I get that is one thing that will rouse an emotion out of me because the Falcons losing will no longer get a reaction from me.
No, I'm with you. Like
I think I put up something. I said, "Hey, don't get excited, everyone." You know what I'm saying?
Hey, like I'm not apathetic. Like I still do care, but it's one of those things where I can take an L as long as I see some building blocks, some things we can build on. I can work with it. And granted, our rookies didn't play perfect, but I'm seeing development from our young players. Like I think Brandon Dorlus had a couple plays.
He did.
It just sucks Zach Harrison got hurt because he's been developing as well.
I think Zach Harrison played this game. Zach Harrison check this box score. I think Zach Harrison had a sack. He forced a fumble.
Wait, was that because I saw Zach, but I couldn't tell which Zach. I couldn't tell. Yeah, you're right. I'm tripping. I'm thinking it was like because I saw like a Harrison Jr. on our teams. I was like,
no, it's because that number 36. Now is that what Ronnie Harrison? I think is.
Yeah, see that threw me off. That threw me off.
You just keep hearing Harrison.
Yeah,
like,
so that threw me off.
You're hurt now.
You're right. Because I like, yeah, even Zach Harrison played had a solid.
He made a difference. His presence was noticed.
And I'm just like
Zach Harrison. I hope we retain him, man. Because
aside from our 2021 draft class, Terry has been kind of doing all right. Like he has progressively gotten better. But that 2021 is so egregious.
It's so egregious. Bad. Like you don't
egregious
NFL players
to the point where I'm just like, dog, that slick might be the reason you lose your job because we need depth and we needed depth from that class because we had nine people from that draft class and only one.
Oh my God.
And only one is still on the team and his name is Kyle Pitts.
Only 2 are in the league.
And only 2 are still in the league. That's crazy.
You drafted 7 unplayable guys. You drafted 7 guys that's not NFL worthy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I almost want to feel bad for Terry because now he kind of figuring out. Honestly, when I'm looking at this team, I almost feel like we got to get rid of Raheem just because, hey, you got enough. You got enough to not do this shit. You got enough to not be 3-6. But
hey, and that's the thing. Like, there's so much football to be played. Like, we can right the ship. Like, we can fuck around and go. I ain't gonna say we gonna win out, but we could mess around. Like, we 3-6. We can fuck around and win 6 games.
Man, we can't.
But I doubt it. But it could happen.
And I'm like, bro, it ain't getting no fucking better. We still got the fucking Seahawks. We still got the fucking Rams. We still got to go to Tampa. We got to go to New Orleans. And look, let's be real. New Orleans is a trash team. But guess what? I hate to break it to you. At 3-6,
we were a trash team.
Oh, okay. Hey, don't fucking look at how sorry they are, and then act like your record. They look at your record first.
Exactly.
Like, don't be fucking over here, saying, "Oh, the Saints suck." I'm like, hey, you suck. You've lost 4 in a row. Now, granted, I said this shit when we was talking about the schedule to start. I said, bruh, in some of these games I expect the Falcons to win, but the Falcons do not win against AFC teams. I get nervous. Who our last 3 losses been against?
AFC opponents, man.
AFC opponents. And guess what? I think we get another one next week. Do we play the Jets next week? Who we play next week?
Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up. I'm about to pull it up. No, we play the Panthers next week.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Panthers at home, at Saints, then at Jets. Which, if we can win these 3 games, guess what? We're back to 6-6.
That'll change our season.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not like, it's not over. It's over. Who are our next 3 games? Panthers at home, winnable because the Panthers, I don't know what they are, but they are doing what we can't, winning the games that are close.
Bro,
hey,
the Panthers, let me tell you what it is. Panthers can run the ball, right? And we inconsistent as shit running the ball. Oh my God. We can't even do the things we supposed to. We thought we could do. Damn it. Boy, let me tell you something that's about to frustrate me as a fan going forward. I'm looking at this team. When people get let go, I'm like looking at contracts. I'm like, yo, this Kate Nellis last year on this contract. This Tyler Algier last year on this contract. This Kyle Pitts last year on this contract. I know he's a little more controversial than the other 2, but like.
But the first 2, they damn near gotta stay.
Like
can't lose Algier.
How you gonna convince Algier to stay?
Yeah.
Algier has shown, 1, he can be a starter. He always shows it. And 2, he ready to get paid. Unlike Bijan, who a first rounder, Tyler Algier a 5th rounder. He ready to get bread. You know what I'm saying? And then what we did right after we had him, we drafted a running back in the 1st round right after he ran for 1,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're not even gonna be able to carry over. Like that's why it's always so important that you get the right coach and get this shit right the first time. Because now you're gonna go ahead and look at some of this later, and it's like, oh, okay, we're not gonna be able to keep all this. Matter of fact, I think Zach Harrison contract up too. Did Zach Harrison get drafted the same year as Algier? Or did he get drafted the year after?
What was the question again?
Zach Harrison.
I want to say he was the same class as Algier.
Yeah, so I could be wrong. He was a 3rd rounder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. No, I think he was the next year. Because I think Ebiketie was the same class as Algier. I don't know. But I know David Onyemata, we ain't keeping him next year. Can't afford that. So I'm like, bro, you're not even gonna be able to look at this. A lot of the guys performing on this team. Like, hold on, when did Jesse Bates contract up? Is this Jesse Bates last year or second last year?
I think he got 1 more year on the contract with us.
Okay, I know he signed a 4-year. So I'm just looking at this shit and I'm like, bruh, we are looking like bumbling idiots a little bit. That's why it's so important to get the right coach, because I'm saying all of this, none of these things are negatives when you are right from the top down. You know what I'm saying? It's always about having the right GM, right coach, right quarterback. I don't know what the fuck we got. Now, to be fair, because we haven't been winning, you can just go ahead and throw them all out. That's fine. If you hate them all, if you say, hey, man, all these guys suck, I'm not going to stop you. I want to stay positive, and I want to say, hey, you're being too hard. Just see the process through. But hey, this team ain't went to the playoffs in 7 years. This year is probably gonna be number 8 if we being real. We're gonna be alone in having the longest playoff drought in the NFL. All right, and a lot of the pieces that you do like and want to keep, you really can't justify because of other investments you made. All right, so I'm like, man, bro, get this shit straight. I don't know. Look, I don't want to overreact to this one loss.
Hey, just think about it.
At the same time,
we got 3 winnable games.
Couple of weeks, these were very, very, very winnable games. You know what I'm saying? To lose a game in overtime, to lose another game the week before by 1 point. You win one of those games and you 4-5 and you got, 3, I don't know if the fucking Panthers a winnable game anymore because of how bad we suck. But if we would have won one of those, I would have felt like the Panthers was a winnable game. And next thing you know, you talking about, hey, we went. Yeah, sorry. I was being rudely interrupted. So yeah, man, I'm looking at this situation and I'm like, man, we gotta right the ship. We gotta right it. I'll say this much, they playing better. Zach Robinson, honestly, he's better. The problem is it might just be too late, right? Because my thing is he needed to be playing good out of the gate because Penix is a young guy. You are already, as the offensive coordinator, gonna have to cover up for some of his deficiencies as your quarterback because he's young. He's got, stuff to figure out as a starter. And I feel like Zach kind of figured out how to get the run game going a little bit more today. He still got that screen disease. Like Jesus Christ, man. We
saw a little bit less of it today, but
I saw a lot less of it today, and I saw it in situations that made sense for a screen. It just wasn't the right screen, right? We running back screens, against pressure, but I'm like, man, the screen is not over the pressure. You know what I'm saying? The screen is like out to the side. I'm like, damn, and look, to be fair. Maybe sometimes it's not execution. I know I saw one with Bijan Robinson where he was on the screen and then got tackled for a loss, and it was against pressure. And maybe if Drake London makes his block, Bijan could run into the vacated space, and that could have been a big play. But that's not what happened. But yeah, man, I felt like with this game, boy, when you talk about leaving meat on the bone, I feel like I could do a whole episode just listing all the plays them boys missed. Like, I remember Pitts had that drop. Penix had that miss. On James Pierce Jr. kind of had a pretty easy pick, and he missed it. And I only bring up a missed pick because a lot of these picks are easy. Defenders drop picks all the time, but that pick would have had our offense in the red zone to start the drive. All right, that was an easy one. How many times we get a good stop? Like, god damn, we didn't pick. Like, we didn't.
That 3rd and 19 was unforgivable.
Unforgivable, God.
That was the game.
21,
that was the game. If we got that stop right there, we win. We go home.
Oh my god, boy! Look, man, that's the plays. And look, I'm gonna try to tell you right now. Do not get overly excited to get your hopes up when they play. Just watch the game. Just watch the game. I'm so glad that in this game I didn't look at them getting ready to drive and take the lead and get excited. I saw that shit. I was like, either they're gonna smoke this touchdown or smoke this red zone possession, or we gonna smoke the possession that the Colts get after. You know what I'm saying? Or it's a possibility. I'm like, I just want to see him do it before I get excited one way or the other. All right. Very glad I did so. So what's next? Like you said, we got Carolina next week. Carolina playing the Saints right now. They losing 10-7.
Hey, it's doable.
Watch Tyler Shuck get his shit together because he got an offensive minded head coach who kind of know a little bit about playing. And watch Kellen Moore gonna fuck around and develop Tyler Shuck, and he gonna be a little bit have a little more going than Penix. And when you want the fans will lose their fucking minds.
Yep. So we got the Panthers at home, which I think we can pull that one off. Then we got Saints. Then we got the Saints away, which can go either way. That's a primetime game, so that's a 4:25 game. Ugh. And then we got the Jets. I hope they flex that. But then we got the Jets at home. Or we got the Jets away, which they traded away Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams, so we should be able to run and pass the ball. So, like, we got 3 games where we can compete. I won't say they winnable. Oh. We got 3 games where we can compete, and if 2-1 ain't good enough, we got to go 3-0 in this stretch. Granted, that's
I
asking a
think
lot.
you're right.
And I'll be honest, the biggest
2-1 was the old price. That was the price if you would have split between New England and Indianapolis. You got to be 3-0 now.
Like if we would have beat the Colts, I could be like, oh, maybe we might drop the Saints game, but like, no, we gotta beat the Panthers, Saints, and Jets. Because if we can win those 3 games, we're 6-6, and then we got a gauntlet at the end of the season. Then we had the Seattle home,
Oof.
Buccaneers away, Cardinals away, Rams home, Saints home. And out of those 4, the only winnable game is the Saints.
So a division rival, okay.
So
a division rivalry game where anything can go.
So I'm not thinking about it, bro. We gonna fuck around and go 7-10.
Yeah, I told you, bro. Looking too far ahead in the season, and let me tell you, winning gives you so much confidence, right? If we would have won this game, you would have saw this team beat a 7-win team. You would have saw this team beat a team that has the most wins in all of NFL. You know, you would have felt confident. You would have said, okay, you know, maybe we can beat some of those teams that we have on the schedule going forward. But you see them get another L. You see this team lose 4 games in a row. It's getting harder and harder to have any confidence in this team going forward against anybody. All right? And look, sometimes I almost like want to just calm down and keep perspective, right? We lost 4 in a row. Only one of those was really inexcusable. The game against Miami was inexcusable.
Mm-hmm.
You got smoked by a sorry team at home. Nothing to say about that. But it's like, well, we lost to the 49ers. That's a good team. And we lost to the Patriots, which is a good team. And we lost to the Colts, which is a good team. But the problem is 2 of those teams, just like your team, wasn't supposed to be a good team starting the year. Why were the Patriots able to pull it together? Why the Colts was able to pull it together?
Coaching.
Because why can't the Falcons do the same? We the ones with all the talent. We the ones with all these first-round draft picks playing on offense.
Coaching.
Like, that's what it comes down to. And so, woof, boy, we got a lot to unpack with this team going forward. Right now, Raheem, he coaching for his job.
And the thing is, I see
players coaching for they playing for that to keep their job on this team anyway. I'm like, man, it's a lot of dudes out there that's like hell, Terry. I mean, look, I think Pitts needed to have a big year this year. If Pitts don't have a big year, I think Pitts going somewhere else, and he gonna be taking Terry with him.
He will be. He will be.
That'll just be another part of that infamous.
Which is such a shame because I feel like drafting wise, I think Terry finally found his stride.
I know, man, but like it's just certain things that's harder and harder to justify. How many coaches can this one GM get without making the playoff?
That's a fact.
But see, the hard thing about all of this shit is how much is it, because the NFL is the way it is, how much of this shit is just making changes to make changes, right? Like you don't want to be like I look at like Kevin Stefanski or Kevin O'Connell. Well, I guess more so Kevin Stefanski because his team's sorry, but he's proven he's been a good coach. It's just you ain't got a quarterback. You thought you had one with Deshaun Watson? He was quite cheeks. And then the question is, well, when the team suck, you fire the quarterback, right? I mean, you fire the coach, right? But is the coach the problem? Are we changing just to change? And in this situation, I look at Terry and I say, all right, I'm feeling a little bit better about, the players he's got, both through the draft and free agency. And, I look at the players he has through the draft and free agency, and I'm like, he is starting to hit his stride. But you kind of brought Arthur Smith in this motherfucker, and you got Raheem in this motherfucker, and it's like, I don't, it's time to make a change, but at the same time,
yeah, and like it's one of those things where like, oh well, hopefully come next year we'll have some more cap space and can do a little bit more with the team. But like, hey, Kirk is still owed quite a bit of money, man. And unfortunately, a lot of our cap is tied up in the Kirk.
And
how are we gonna get somebody else to take his contract? Or how are we gonna get like
nah, we can cut him after this year.
We still gonna own some money.
The rest of that money go 90 mil, but like that became guaranteed. But the way his contract was set up, like I said, we was always going to cut him because I mean we can't keep a $60 million cap hit on the books next year for the backup. Like
we just can't do it.
And then the other thing too is sometimes you got to fire them just because of how stupid they make you look. Like we're not gonna be drafting this high again. You right. You made sure we weren't drafting this high again because you traded away your first round pick. So now you're right. You won't be drafting that high again, but somebody's going to be drafting with your pick that high.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. Look, if we look at the positives of this game, we know we got our number one in Drake. Maybe we got to figure out something with the receiver group. We also seem to have manufactured oh God, sunlight changed and it flashed right into the camera. Whatever. You know that you got your number one receiver. You're looking like young guys in the front seven. And honestly, the back four are looking pretty good. You still also the season's not over.
Dog, remember at one point last year, how many? It was at one point we had like 15 sacks after like 10 games.
Jesus.
We had 13 sacks in the last 2 games. Last week we had 6. This week we had 7. Granted, we left meat on the bone. I get it. We should have won this game. I get it. Penix missed some throws. I get it. Zach Robinson play calling left much to be desired. I get it. Special teams, shit the bed. I get it. But at the end of the day, our team ain't that bad, bro. Next week we got the Panthers at home. That's a winnable game. I don't care what nobody says. It's the Panthers. I don't care they 5-4. I don't care. I don't care they can run the ball. I don't care. It's the Panthers.
They can play defense too now.
We can beat the Panthers. The Panthers can be had, and we can beat them.
And honestly, getting a win against them could honestly reset our season. Right now, I think we need to take.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Panthers, Saints, Jets, 6-6. And then we got a 4-game stretch where we got to win them all. Or at least go 3-4. It can happen. I ain't going to say it's going to happen. But, hey.
It's not over. It's not over.
I'll say this. I don't think Penix will play. I won't say that because he didn't really play. He was inaccurate. He didn't play bad, but he was inaccurate. I don't think he'll be. He didn't play. All right, he didn't play great. But I don't think he'll be as bad, man. And the worst part is, it wasn't bad like Desmond Ridder bad. It was like, oh, you can make all the plays, you just didn't make them.
Yeah.
It was that kind of bad. Like you left meat on the bone. You could have made those plays. You were capable. You are capable of making those plays. You just didn't make them.
The games are close because Penix at least don't give the other team the ball.
Exactly, bro. So as far as silver lining goes, we got a winnable 3-game stretch. I'm gonna hedge my bets. I said we go 3-0. I said we go 6-6. And then the last 4, we just gonna have to pray. But hey, I said what I said. I feel how I feel. I'm unlike most fans. I'm a little optimistic. I believe.
I'm happy for you because that means you've properly reset your expectations. I keep telling people, I'm like, look, you're gonna continue to be sad and suffer as a Falcons fan if you just keep setting your expectations so high that I'm like, look, man, don't go. We were honestly, what was our score predictions for this game? And what was the
Thank you, dude. I'm glad you brought that up. I had us losing 38-14. 38-14. I said we're gonna score.
I said 23-10, right?
I said we're gonna score in the opening drive and we're gonna score a garbage time touchdown. We almost won this game. At the end of the day, the silver lining for me is that we didn't get embarrassed. I wanted one thing.
Does matter, yeah.
One thing. Well, I guess 2 things. First things first, rookies and young players play better, take the next step. I saw that. Yeah, they had some plays where they got exposed, but for the most part, the trajectory is going up, trending upwards.
Hey, they can't be perfect. Damn, the other guys get paid too. The other guys are NFL players too. They go
exactly.
Yeah.
And then 2, don't embarrass me. And they didn't embarrass me. And as a fan, that's all I can ask for. You're going to have to readjust some expectations, baby. If you're a Falcons fan, you listening, readjust those expectations. They didn't embarrass us. And our young players are taking the next step. That's
all right, cool.
That's my silver lining for this week.
Yeah, my silver lining is that the season's far from over. I mean, it's not far from over. You are officially over the halfway mark. You 9 games in. But the silver lining is perspective, that key word. We've lost 4 in a row, but 3 of those 4 were against, pretty bona fide playoff teams at this point. The Patriots and the Colts got like a combined, like they have less losses combined than you have. You know what I'm saying? So like they some tough teams. Also you seeing growth from Zach Robinson, although I don't know we got time for that, but you are in fact seeing it, right? You seeing us find ways to move the ball without only featuring Bijan. So that's
thank you, dude. Like Zach has shown some strides. Like it ain't perfect, but he's at least showing like, hey, what I'm doing ain't working. So let me try something different. He's at least doing that. And you mentioned that we lost that 4-game stretch to playoff teams. Was it 4 games?
4 games in a row, 3 of them to playoff teams.
I'm glad you said that because, hey, guess what? We got a 3-game stretch where we can win them all. The Panthers are technically a playoff team right now. Well, they're 5-4.
I mean, look, they would actually be the worst team we've played in the last 3 weeks. So
I'm trying to tell you right now, if we magically can win these next 3 games, boom. Guess what we have after that? Another 4-game stretch against playoff teams. And I think this stretch might go different. Now, granted, we got to see how these next 3 games go. That's putting the cart before the horse. I don't want to do that just yet. But, hey, this season is about proving stuff. And I'm believing. I'm kind of talking my way back into believing again.
Just so y'all know, I'm drinking a beverage. This don't say hopium on it. All right, I don't know what the fuck Cam drinking. I ain't got that much hopium, but I'm so. You know what? That's why Cam is in the podcast, man. Because we need that energy. We don't need to be surrounded by that negative bullshit all the time. I'm not gonna sit here tell y'all tear it down. Don't be a fan. Look, the only reason I say don't get excited and calm down is for your mental health as a football fan, as a Falcon fan. I just don't want y'all being in the dumps. And guess what? It's 2:00 on Sunday. It's a beautiful day out if you're in Georgia. Enjoy your day. Have a good time. Don't let the team get you down, all right? And also just recognize the things that the team is doing well. It's not all bozo. Like, look, the reason why we were acting the way we were acting after the Panther game and after Miami game. Yeah, the Dolphins game is because they got smoked in those games and they gave us nothing to be happy about, right? Honestly, in this game, we lost it. We didn't make all of the plays we needed to, but honestly, this is a game that it was all right. This was a game where if we must have forced like 3 or 4 fumbles, but only recovered 1. If we recover an extra 1 of those fumbles, who knows how this game goes?
Oh yeah, this is a game.
You know what I'm saying? We left meat on the bone.
Couldn't agree more.
We ate the chicken like a pretty girl, like a well-off person. Yeah, we left a little meat on the bone. But it's not all bad. It's not all bad, and it's not over. It's not over. And you know what I'm saying? Right now we're getting a little bit of a reprieve. Now maybe if we can get this next game against the Panthers, that'll be a win over a team with a winning record, and it'll be a win against a divisional opponent, and it'll be a win that leads you into 2 softer games, and then you can be 6-6 through 12. And then also you get a chance to get your team right going forward against the next tough slate of games you got coming up. All right. And the good news too is that after the Jets game, we are done with AFC opponents. We are done with AFC opponents for the year. All right. So when we play against NFC teams, all bets is off. Hey, we went 8-9 last year too, and guess what? We were one of the only teams to hang an L on the team that won the Super Bowl. All right,
Very
so
true.
if the Eagles were an AFC team, they would beat the shit out of us that night. But they not. They an NFC team. So just hang in there. All right, just hang in there. Don't get too high, but also don't get too low. This was not all negatives here. All right, I know we bitched a little bit because we fans too. We got shit to get off our chest too. But don't. Hey! Get that noose off your neck. All right, stop that. Get off of that chair. Not like that. Take the noose off first, and then get off the chair. All right, relax. We'll be here next week. That's the main reason that you can't jump off the chair with that noose, because if you jump off that chair with the noose, you won't be able to watch the next episode of The Silver Lining.
Exactly.
All right, I think that's a good place for us to go ahead and put the bow on this thing. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this thing up, Cam?
Hey, just stay positive, people. Stay positive, man. We got a winnable 3-game stretch coming up. Hey, believe.
Well, you heard it here first, folks, and that in fact is the Silver Lining. So go ahead and follow us over. We're gonna post this thing on x.com. You can follow us at the AGLiner91. And yeah, just stay positive, man. It's not over yet. We'll wait for them to get eliminated before we start going ahead focusing on next season and the draft and all of that. All right. So thank you for your time. Staying with us. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the little bell when you hear some real niggas uploading. Peace.